Hi, I'm Lindsay Horvath, Supervisor for Los Angeles County's 3rd District, and I am joined today by our Los Angeles County Director of Public Works, Mark Pestrella. Thank you for joining us. Following January's devastating wildfires, Los Angeles County Public Works stepped up to lead a coordinated debris removal process with state and federal partners. So we're here to talk about debris removal, what to expect, how to apply, and how we're preparing and helping you through the wet weather over the next couple of months. Director Pestrella, thanks for joining us.
Thank you for having me, Supervisor.
I know we've been talking about debris removal, so give it to me straight. What is the debris removal process? How is it working?
Well, just in plain language, we just have an amazing amount of debris, which is made up of people's homes, the wood, steel, concrete that is just broken down into ashes, soot, and it's sitting on their properties. And so the basic thing of this debris removal is to get that off your property. And there's a process to that we've joined in with our federal partners to conduct, FEMA, the Army Corps of Engineers, and EPA, along with the state, Cal OES. And that process is essentially a 2-step process. We first go in and first the EPA goes in and they assess the property for household hazardous materials. And they separate those materials. It's a quick review of the property, make sure it's safe for them to go. They take it off, and then they take that off to a staging area and then off to appropriate disposal site. The second part, which is the big lift, is where the Corps of Engineers is going to bring in some pretty heavy equipment and some very, very high expertise in conjunction with our department and our capacity to basically put the property back into a buildable shape, meaning taking it down, everything off the property, take 6 inches of soil off the property and leave that behind for the property owners so they can begin the rebuilding process. Well, all of the sites are currently considered unsafe for human occupancy. They're actually red tagged, and that's because of this household hazardous materials there and also the structural hazards that are on site. So we are really pushing people not to enter the site before phase 1. Let phase 1 happen so that we can at least get into a shape that we feel comfortable telling you it's safe to enter.
Yeah, and I remember EPA said if they came across people's belongings, they'd turn them into law enforcement. So during that phase 1, I know people want to get in, but there's a lot of hazardous material that we want to get out of the way.
Yeah, so true, Supervisor. And you know what, I personally have seen their operation, and they're very respectful in how they approach the property. And when they do identify something, they set it aside and they call law enforcement, as you said, to make sure that it's retrieved.
And then that phase 2, as you said, it is a heavy lift. There's a lot to do in that stage. Is it coming at a cost to residents? How is this being paid for?
It's a free to the residents if they opt into the program, let the government do the program. And when they opt in, they essentially don't pay anything for it. But we do require that they show proof of insurance. And if they have any insurance that is specific to debris removal, the county is going to retain that portion of it so that we don't provide double benefits for the service.
But I think I heard at one of the community meetings, Army Corps said that they're not going to send a bill, that if you get a bill that says that it's from the Army Corps, it's false and you should report it immediately.
Absolutely. The notices will come from my department for the entire county. So you will know who we are. You'll be working with us through the ROE. And so the only notifications you'll get in mail will be from LA County Public Works.
Well, it sounds like there's a lot of experts hard at work on this public process. I hope people are opting in. So how do they do that?
So go to this website that we created, and I'm really proud of it. It's a web-based program, and it's called recovery.lacounty.gov. And then there's a link there for debris removal. If you go there, you can follow the steps. There's 2 options, opting in or opting out. We need you to make a determination. Once you opt in, it's pretty simple to walk through, but just in case you're having a hard time doing that, we've got people there to help you. So if they call us at 844-347-3332, or just go to the website and ask for help, we'll actually make an appointment for people and we'll walk them through filling out this form.
That's great. I know people are in all stages of grieving right now, so having that kind of help is really important. I'm glad to hear your staff is able to provide that kind of support. Is there anything else you want people to know about this particular stage of recovery, this debris removal and these early stages before we get to rebuild?
I just, being an engineer myself, having personal experience with fires, I would tell you that it's a very difficult time to be making decisions. I'd ask that they try to slow down a little bit and make decisions. But one decision we want to help you make is opting into this program because it's so beneficial. So if you need help making that decision, my engineers and myself, we're happy to guide you through that, even the decision making about how much of this help you want your foundation or not, those kind of things. We're here to help folks with that. So my message to everyone is, get together with your neighbors, decide you're going to do this, and let us come help you. I think this is such a good benefit to getting things started. Then the other thing is, don't delay in the decision making about your rebuild. If you get your plans together and you're ready to submit to us, by all means submit to us, and we'll start the process of the plan check of your project.
Well, it sounds like there's sort of the individual part of it. You got to make the best decision for your property, but there's also a community component that
Yes.
People working together will help this move faster, and it'll be good for their neighborhoods too.
Yes, it's so true. It'll help us prioritize our neighborhood if they do that as well.
Well, I know you're wearing another hat too. In addition to all of this debris removal, in the Palisades, the burn area was 24,000 acres. So we're talking about a lot of work that you're doing, but on top of that, you're also helping us prepare and protect our communities during rainy season. So what are you doing for that?
Yeah, this is one of the hats I wear as the Director of Public Works. I'm the Chief Engineer of the Flood Control District. It's actually the part of the department I came up in. And we year-round are preparing community for the potential flooding. One of the worst conditions we get is when we have a burn scar. And that's what's happened here. So what happens is that burning of the watershed creates like a doubling effect of the flows that come into our system. And people have seen this. It can actually flow over and actually cause debris damage and mud flows into homes. So we certainly don't want that to happen. So we've been actively preparing for this flood year-round for it. The next piece of it, though, is also the other part of our mission is to protect the environment. So we're doing a tremendous amount of innovative work right now, Supervisor, to capture sediment that is containing these pollutants of concern from the houses. And it's everything from K-rails to socks at the end of the channels, diverting flows to the sewer. We actually have a system, a little dam that fills up in Rustic Canyon Channel, and it moves the water into the sewer, and it gets treated at this Hyperion treatment plant and released properly, treated and released properly. So lots of things that are going on, a lot of experience being put into play, and a lot of ingenuity that's being put into play to protect people, their property, and the environment.
Yeah, well, I've seen firsthand not only the big infrastructure that your department has led on over the years constructing, but also your team members, your department members out there doing this work, preparing our communities to make sure that they're resilient against the rain that's now coming after these fires. And so if there's any question that people have while there's a rain event, or if they have questions about whether their home is prepared for flooding or anything like that, where would you advise they call?
Yeah, so that's so true, and I want people to take advantage of it. They can call us at 1-800-675-4357.
That's great. It's helpful to have a number. Sometimes you just need that person on the other end of the line to give you a little bit of advice, and I know your department is doing that. Thank you so much. We are incredibly grateful to our Department of Public Works, wearing many hats during this emergency, and I know Director Pestrella and your entire team is going to make sure that we're taking good care of all of our residents throughout Los Angeles County. We'll keep you updated and keep you safe. Thank you very much.